In this video, we're going to look at navigating Blackboard and Pearson for your online math class, and we're going to start in Blackboard. So once you click on your course, you get a menu that pops up that's similar to this. Home, Read Me First, Coursework, Mail, Grades, Attendance, Calendar, and Blackboard Help. You'll spend most of your time in the coursework and the mail and probably the grades. Read Me First is some information including the syllabus and the college policies and some other items that you'll want to read through before you get started in the course. But I want to focus more on the coursework portion of Blackboard. It's divided into two parts, tasks and math resources. Your math resources are just that. Those are extra things that could help you through this course. There's a link to our tutoring hours here on campus, either at Southside or NCAT. If you're having browser issues, you can run a browser check to make sure your computer at home has everything that you need to be able to run Pearson's My Math Lab. My Math Lab registration step-by-step instructions. So at the very beginning of the course, you only have to do this once. The approved formula sheet that you'll be allowed to use throughout the course and on the final exam and the midterm exam. And finally, some graphing calculator resources, including step-by-step instructions with screenshots, tutorial movies, and tutorials. Those could come in very, very helpful as you progress through the course. So back to coursework, the tasks. Now this is where you're actually going to start doing things, whereas the resources are more for just preview and extra help. So it looks like the first thing we have is Module 8. Now I know it seems strange that you're starting at Module 8 instead of Module 1, but this course actually picks up where another course leaves off. So we start with Module 8 and we go through Module 16. So if you notice, it's due August 25th by 11:59 p.m. And inside this folder we have learning objectives. So Module 8 is all about polynomials. You have a checklist. In this particular module, you have a Getting Started in This Course, which is going to include registration instructions and actually this video that I'm recording for you right now. You always have a link to the eText course home, and we'll look at that here in a minute. A calculator help folder with some things that are specific to this particular module that could be helpful for you on your calculator. And then finally a Dropbox. And so we're going to look at these in more detail. We're going to start with the checklist. So here we have beginning of semester assignments, some things that you need to do before you get started. Throughout the course though, obviously that part won't be there and it'll be this to-do portion. So the first thing you want to do is preview what you're learning about, which we just saw in the module. It's the first thing listed. Then you're going to learn the material. This is an online course, so you still have to put in the time to actually learn the content before you start working on your homework. If you jump right into your homework assignments online, you're going to get frustrated because you're not going to understand because you didn't take the time to actually learn. So click through the interactive topic on any mobile device and take notes in your My Math Lab notebook prior to each lesson. This is how you will learn the mathematical concepts necessary to complete your homework assignments. You can access the interactive topic through the Start menu or the Learn Workbook assignment, and we'll look at both those options here in a minute. There are also several additional online resources in the Pearson Multimedia Library that could be helpful, and again I'll show you where those are. Once you've learned the math, then you're going to practice, and these are your tasks or your assignments in My Math Lab. So in this particular module, it looks like there's 5 assignments, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, and then a Using Math to Save Money Module 8 assignment. And then once you finish all of those, then you're going to assess, so prepare and complete the exam. Exams must be completed by the due date and cannot be accessed after the date is passed. Each exam will have a review in My Math Lab. Students are encouraged to work through the My Math Lab review in order to prepare for the exam. All exams are timed and you can only access a My Math Lab exam one time, so be sure you are prepared and ready to take the exam. The exam is password protected so that you do not accidentally click into it before you are ready. The password is IOLA, I-O-L-A. So that is really important because when you start to take your test, you're going to need that password. It's not going to let you in until you do so. And finally, all work must be submitted once you have completed your exam on My Math Lab. See syllabus for more details, and we'll actually go into that here in a few minutes. So that's the checklist. That's everything you need to do by the due date. So again, the due date is August 25th at 11:59 p.m. So all of those things must be done prior to that. You do not want to wait till August 25th to do all of that. That's a lot. You had 5 assignments and a test. So a lot of things, and learning the math. So that's a lot of things you have to do. So don't wait till the last minute. So we looked at the checklist. Here's where you're going to go to start working on your assignments in My Math Lab. Pearson's My Math Lab. So let's go ahead and click into that so you can see what that's going to look like. Here's the home screen that pops up. There's a couple different ways that you can get to your assignments and a couple different ways that you can get to the interactive topic. So there's a start here. Remember, we're doing Module 8. And this should look familiar. We already know that we're talking about polynomials. If you click on 8.1, here's click through the interactive topic. And here's what it looks like, the first page, 8.1. Here's the things you're going to be looking at. It's divided into an introduction, a presentation, a check your understanding, and a review. So this is going to follow along in your workbook. Now the problems aren't going to be identical, but you'll see similar things. So some students like to view everything in the interactive topic and then go into their workbook and try some of those problems and make sure they understand. Some students like to do it in the reverse. They like to work through the workbook problems to see what they remember, and then if they get stuck, go into the interactive topic for help. So it's just however you want to learn the materials, totally up to you. To go from screen to screen, you just click the arrow on the far right and you'll see it turn blue as you navigate through. Now some of the screens are just going to have information, so this looks more just like vocabulary terms. And some screens are going to have examples with solutions. So here's an example, identify the terms, and if you want to see the solution, click on solution and it'll show you. Here are some more kind of just terminology or a process, procedure for adding. It just gives you a real quick what you're going to be doing. Oops, and it clicked me out of it. Let me get back to that screen. And here's the next screen. Again, another example with a solution. And again, you'll find some of these things in your workbook as well. So I really like the infographics here. I think those are going to be really helpful. You've got rules, some more examples, especially subtracting polynomials. That's kind of challenging for students. Now here's one that's arranged a little bit differently. It's got a practice problem, so you can actually work through these if you like. And then it goes through step by step what you're going to do in order to solve the problem. So it's a little bit different from an example. This just releases the steps one at a time instead of going directly to the solution. Here's some check your understanding. Again, here's a problem, and then it's just going to pop up the answer. Now it's not going to give you the full process. So if you get stuck and you're not sure where you went wrong, then you might back up and go to something else that could be helpful. So it gives you some of the check your understanding, and then it moves you into the next topic. Topic 2. So that's a little bit on how the interactive topic is arranged. You can also get there from the course home a different way. If instead of going to start here, which is where we went to first, you can go to assignments. And in your assignments, topic 8.1, learn workbook. So there's nothing to do here. It just simply takes us right back to this screen that we saw a minute ago. So you can either get there through the start here, or you will see in your list of assignments the Learn Workbook interactive topics as well. So the actual homework assignments are 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, and 8.4, and the Using Math to Save Money Module 8, but you also see the Learn Workbook for all of those as well. And you just can click into them there, or again go to the Start menu. So 2 different ways to navigate. If we go back to Blackboard, we have this TI 8384 help folder, and there are some links. Some of them are videos, and sometimes they'll just be more of an information or a step-by-step process. I try to put in videos when I can because I think those are more helpful. And then finally the Dropbox. So when you're done with the module and you're done with your test, when you take your test, then your written work needs to go in the Dropbox. So all the work that you did in order to solve the problems, be sure that you organize and number your work. Don't forget your name. Exam score will be recorded as a 0 in Blackboard until written work is submitted, but you can submit your written work anytime. You don't have to submit the written work by the due date of the test. You just have to make sure you complete the test by the due date, and then you can submit your work later that evening or day or even a few days afterwards. Work should be submitted electronically to the Dropbox and Blackboard. If you are unable to scan your written work, I know some people have scanners, some people don't. You can use the scanner in the ASC if you come to campus on a regular basis, or you can take a picture with your phone and upload that, or you can actually just mail it, and here's the address. Be sure you keep a copy for your records. If you're going to send me the originals in the mail, make sure you take a picture with your phone or somehow take a picture, just because in case it gets lost in the mail, we've still got record of that. Please do not email it to me. Don't email it directly to my WATC email account. I get lots of emails every day, but really the main reason is if you submit it through Blackboard, it's time-stamped and you can see exactly when you submitted it, and I can see when you submitted it. Again, there's no due date, but that is kind of nice if there's not a grade in the grade book, and then I can go back to when you submitted it and see when you did all of that. So that's there more to protect you. If you take a picture with your phone, be sure the image is readable. That's really important. I've had students in the past send me pictures of their work and I can't read it at all. This past summer, I discovered an app. So if you've got an iPad, or I think a Windows device, but actually you can put this on your smartphone or your iPhone. It's called Cam Scanner. It's a great app that'll turn your smartphone into a scanner, so it won't pixelate the picture when you take a picture, and it'll make it really clear and readable. So when you upload it, I'll be able to read it as well. So those are all the things that you're going to be seeing in the module folders. If we go back to coursework and tasks, you can see that you've got folders for all of the modules that you're going to be working on in this course. You also see these reflections. Each week you'll have a reflection. So the first week you've got a module and a reflection due, but the following week you only have a reflection. You don't have any module work. That's because I'm giving you 2 weeks to complete Module 9 and not just 1 week. So make sure you're paying attention to those due dates and working through the modules and completing reflections by those due dates. So if you've got any questions about navigating Blackboard or you're struggling with it, please don't hesitate to email me, which you can do by clicking on the My Mail, and you can create a message. And if you're going to send it to me, Shelby Jansen, instructor, that would be the one that you would want to select. And it moves me over into the recipients box, and then you can type a subject in the body of an email and then click submit. And if you email me through Blackboard, then I'm going to respond to you through Blackboard. So if you're waiting for a response from me, please check your Blackboard email, because however you email me is how I will email you back. You also have a My Grades. As you start completing assignments, you'll see grades start filtering in here, so you'll want to check that pretty regularly. And then also verify your attendance. Obviously there's nothing in here right now, but there will be once classes start. So that is Blackboard and Pearson in a nutshell, and again, please email me if you have any further questions.